between you and me, right where you are right in this moment, is exactly where you were meant to be.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome to the Orgasmic Life podcast. I am your hostess, Elena Harder. This is a mini episode designed to give you a taste of what is available in our larger full interviews, as well as what we get into in the deeper version of our membership, where we have full video, bonus courses with our interviewees, and of course our weekly calls where we support each other mom to mom. We'd love to have you as part of the Orgasmic Life.
But what came out of that is like this deep desire to do it differently, and knowing and studying for 10 years, a decade, how I could do it differently. And so when I was 27 and kind of right on the precipice of my Saturn return is when I was traveling down in California, and I ended up conceiving Obi, and I conceived him in 3 parts, I like to say. His bio dad came and swept into my life on a pirate ship after 3 days of catharsis alone on this pirate ship in Ventura Harbor. Gave me coconut oil, foot massages and mangoes, and told me that he always felt like there was a wild child in his life. And I said, if we're going to do this, there's a baby spirit hanging around. And he said, well, I've always felt that there is a wild child that I wouldn't get to raise the same way as my other boys, but I still feel him there. And so there was that. And then the second part, his soul came in. I was having a beautiful tantric experience at the top of a 20-foot waterfall after bathing in the bathing pool of the gods, which we didn't know at the time, but that's what we found out the locals called it, and felt this energy rush in, and felt this piece of his soul come to me from the Yuba River and from the ancients. And that's the birth, they call that the birthplace of the Rainbow Warriors, is where they stem from. And then his third piece came to me as I did a meditation in a black oak grove on the side of Crystal Lake, in the base of Mount Shasta, or Castle Lake, not Crystal Lake. And I fell through the earth and went to the Crystal Caverns and was greeted by the fairy folk who did a womb blessing and shot lasers into my uterus, and like crystalline laser frequencies, and honored me as a divine sacred feminine vessel for bringing, helping their people, bringing this being into the world. And so Obi has come to me by 3 parts. And this was during twilight on the alignment of the it was the Lion's Gate, where there was that 1 year in 2013 with all 6 of the stars all lined up, and you can see it in the sky. So he is a magical one. And he came into my life, I feel, for my personal healing, and to really kind of heal that 10-year kind of wound in myself. And also I feel like he has some purpose here in the world. Many of the things that have been shared with me, is his, part of his mission is to anchor magic and back into these realms.
And fairies, right?
And I totally believe that, that reconnection with spirit, and in a way that magic doesn't exist for us in the density of this plane. And for him, it was, the one thing that I always felt was that I just needed to have him, and everything would be fine, and I would do it unassisted, and it would be my way of reclaiming my rite of passage. And I wanted nobody there. I wanted maybe one person there. I wanted to be as far away from the hospital as I could be. That was the only thing that brought me anxiety. And so it was in every cell of my being, I felt that this birth would be perfect.
There's so much more for you over in the Orgasmic Life membership. Become a bulletproof mom with us, learn the tips and tricks and skills you need to recover from your postpartum mental health journey, and learn the tools of Joygasmic alchemy so you can have the kind of birth you've been dreaming of.